Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to the Sims 4 William and Dax Pilot Part 2. So in the previous episode, we actually created William Davenport III, pictured here, and Dax. And we had those two characters in. At the end of that video, I asked you guys for suggestions for a third character. I wanted to introduce a third character before we got started, and you guys did that. I want to give a shout out to Zach00195, Kangaroo01, Francis Bacon, Philip Raven, Norway Trash, Dicky Bird, Andrew Trudeau, and then finally James Frost. While James, your suggestion of Sir Digby Chicken Caesar was awesome, I do enjoy myself some Mitchell and Webb. I thought something else might fit better. So with that said, I would like to thank Davis Vice the Third, I'm going to go with, Davis Vice the Third, for his suggestion, which read, the third character could be a female eccentric artist, something along the lines of creativity, art lover, either perfectionist or loner, and then of course insane, because, you know, of course. And this should spark some interesting interactions with your Sims. And you know what? I agreed, so did others, but additionally, I liked the tweak that Becca Cant suggested of making her more of a party animal than loner, which could create some interesting problems for both William and Dax. And then she went on to say that clothing-wise, she would suggest a mix of very fashionable and very strange. So I kind of took that tweak of Becca's and combined it with your idea, Davis, and came up with Rain, giving her the last name of Fall. I thought it was kind of a good to go with a hippie-ish kind of random out there name. Kind of fit with her pretty well. I did indeed go with the creation element, going with the painter. Davis, you were saying that it would be good to do the art lover and of course insane. And then while you suggested more of the loner element, Becca suggested that maybe instead she was actually outgoing and everything. So that's kind of how I combine all these together to come up with Rain. So let me take you quickly through the outfits. They're not really that crazy because there's really not a lot of options to get too crazy other than getting really random with your color selection. So anyway, this is kind of what we have for the everyday look. For the formal, there we go, we got some purple going on. There is the athletic, the sleep outfit, and finally the party outfit. Now this gets a little wacky. I thought it was a little weird, but you know what? I think it was fitting. Little random is good for Rain. So anyway, thanks again for all your guys' suggestions, and that's pretty much it. We've got these three characters, so what we're going to do now is we're going to actually jump into the game, build out a house, and kind of see what that is looking like, and we'll kind of take it from there. Okay, so here we are, faced with finding a place to get set up. Now currently we are in Willow Creek, but we also have an option to go over to Oasis Springs. So here you can see the open plots. We've got a couple here. This one is actually where my first character started that I've been kind of playing the game with, getting used to things. He has since moved. So we could move into this house I made. You can see I didn't even bother putting a roof on there. Just a flat roof. But while we do have these options, I actually do like the Oasis Springs over here. This is actually where my player has moved, and so he's right here. We do have a lot here for 3,500 and a lot here for 15. We've got 24,000. Kind of thinking we just go with the cheapest just to save some money. I don't think it really matters where we're at. So it's kind of trailery and run down here, but that's what these three are facing. That's why they have to live together. They really are starting from scratch. So let's go ahead and jump over to Pebbleboro and get started. Okay, so here we are with our Sims. We're in build mode. As you can see up here, we could switch back to live mode, but we're going to stay in build mode, and our Sims will be in a suspended state of animation. Now we got a home on each side of us, small little thing, and we have our plot here. So we do have three of us. We are going to have to make this 3 bedrooms at least, and there's kind of a couple ways to get started. One is to use some of the pre-built styled rooms, and that is, it's a room, it's got its furnishing, you drag it out here, you size it the way you want, and it's good to go. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to use shapes. We're going to put shapes out here. We can drag these around, and then we can actually put shapes, make shapes connect into each other. We can use doors to connect them, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now alternatively, you can actually draw out the walls yourself, do some really cool shapes, but I think we're going to be okay with just doing the shapes here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get started with this, and I'm going to get the basic structure of the house laid out. Okay, so after a bit of playing, I decided to actually draw around the walls. I wanted a bit of a unique shape to the house. And next we're going to pop some doors in here and entryways. So we're going to have a door that comes in here, and you can see that the floor will be lowered in here. I'm realizing this is probably going to be a problem since you're going to step up steps to get to the door and then probably need to step back down them. So I may need to redo how this is working in here. I just wanted a sunken in area, and I'll probably just have to bring this around to finish that up. Up here I wanted to do kind of an open kitchen, dining room area. This would be kind of a wide hallway back here, a doorway out to what'll be the back deck, and then we've got 3 bedrooms. This will be a bathroom, and I may even extend a portion of this back part out so that this room has its own bathroom. So we've got one room with a bathroom here, and then this room with an entryway to the bathroom, but also an entryway from the hallway. So anyway, this is what we're currently looking like. Like I said, I'm gonna have to redo this stuff a bit, but it's coming along pretty well. Okay, so I've gone around and put the doors in. You can see we've got an entryway and one out the back, stairs up here. I did throw those in as well. I did add on the additional bathroom I talked about, and in this case it's got an entryway from the bedroom and then one that goes outside. Now over on this side we actually have this bathroom set up with an entryway from the bedroom, but it actually exits out into the hallway. So this is more of a public restroom that this room has access to. So that's what we're looking at right now, and the next step is to put flooring in. Now, one of the weird things about having done the sunken floor the way I did was that the floor, while you can tile it by room, it doesn't recognize this as a room. And if I try to put the shapes down in there to make it recognize this as a room, it raises the floor level. So what I've discovered in my experimenting was, if I kind of pan the camera around here, and we move in, select the floor, and we choose something like a wood flooring. Let's see here. I don't want to do it by room. And if I kind of fill this in, you may be guessing the problem. You could see that the floor actually extends outside because it doesn't recognize this wall as containing room. Now what I played around with was you can actually place plants. So we're gonna hide the floor out there with plants. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and fill this in. I think I want to do this dark floor. Whoops, wrong direction there. Wrong control. We're going to go ahead and fill this floor in with the dark wood. So there's the lower level. And then up here, we're going to do something a little bit different. And I may need to play around with this a little bit. We've got a lot of patterns to choose from. And so let's see, if we jump over to like tile, because we're going to have a kitchen and dining area up here. And I don't want to do anything too boring. We'll probably do something like this. We'll see how that looks, but we're going to go ahead and line out what might be a kitchen area. And I may even kind of do a little corner there. I'm not quite sure about that. One of the things we can also do is actually jump back over here into the wood. We can choose maybe the dark wood. We can wrap the kitchen in this. So here you can see we've moved around. I've got the exterior set up as far as the decorations goes, kind of the paint essentially. And I've also got siding down here as well. That also carries to the inside. I'm kind of doing the same outside as I am inside. Not really what I wanted, but it turns out that this wall, in order to get the sunken floor and the way I have this set up, whatever I do on one side happens on the other. So what I did was I carried this on the inside as well, though I didn't need to do that in the rooms. So I've got the kind of molding in here, and the bathrooms are set up a little bit differently. A little hard to see because they're blue right now for whatever reason. But there you have it. We've got the walls, all of this stuff set up. So I think the next step is to move on to windows and see how that turns out. So I just went around the house and I had to punch out a bit of the floor. If we go up to the second floor where we're at now, the floor extended over the deck, so I was able to delete that. And I realized why we had some of the color issues we did in the various rooms. That was because this roof area was actually not covered. So I had to actually go throw walls around here until it made the floor, and then use the sledgehammer to break down the walls, leaving just the floor, aka the ceiling for the floor below. So you can see it's all kind of enclosed now, it's all dark inside, as it should be. And you'll also notice that our funds are very, very low. Now, in my first playthrough, I didn't play through the whole thing, but in the first bit that I did in getting to know the game, I actually started with very little money. I had spent it all on the house. Now, I'm looking at this now and thinking, okay, I made this a little too extravagant, I think. So I had to, actually, when I was putting the windows in, I had a number of them lining here. I took a number of them out. I had a couple other windows around here. I had to take those out just to make sure I had a bit more money to spend. But these Sims are going to be living very light in the beginning. Now, speaking of light, let's actually jump in here really quick. We're going to do objects by function. And let's see here. We can look at lighting, because that's going to be a thing that we need. We'll just kind of look at everything here. So we've got these different pillar lamps here, and we're really going to have to go on the cheap, at least at least initially. So I do like that one. How much are these guys? $225. These are very expensive. So we're going to have to go really cheap. I think we'll go with the 65 just for a couple of these guys around here. And you can see how that does light this up. Now, additionally, we could actually come in here and actually get the hanging lights. Maybe that's going to be the way to go. So let's check that out. We're going to need something above the dining room area. And we'll need something above the kitchen. I think we'll just kind of maybe use the same thing. Yeah, so maybe these will be the way to go. They're a little bit more expensive, but I think they light things up a little bit better. How much is that? 140, so it's really not that much more to get a chandelier. We could do a couple of these. We could even try to line these up a little bit with the other ones. Something like this. Let's see, how lined up is that over here? Not quite, it's close. That's okay, we'll leave that for now. So we've got this area lit. We are going to need one somewhat in the middle here as well. We might go with something else. Oh, these guys aren't that expensive. Very spotlighty. Not a bad thing. We may actually go around and change out some of the lighting later. For now, I just want to get some of this stuff in. And once again, I don't want to spend too much money. Let's do something like this guy here. And we'll do another one over the hallway down here. Okay. The kids' ceiling light. Let's see, what else do we have here? Those, yeah, those are a little expensive. There's also some wall-mounted lights as well. Some of these guys over here. Let's see, 105, 100. Yeah. Okay, so it's all pretty much in line here. 55 is pretty cheap, but I think this doesn't really, yeah, it really doesn't light a whole lot. So I think we're just going to go with this in, just kind of all over the place. It's pretty terrible. I'm not that into it, but our Sims are going to have to make some money if they want to get the good stuff. So for now, they're going to deal with this bright spotlight. And then, what did I use? I used this, where did it go? I think I just used one of these guys in the bathroom. My first kind of play. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll just stick with one of these. And we may have to move that once we get in there with the furniture, but something like that'll work. So I think that kind of takes care of the lighting out here. Probably a good idea to put some in the back. Let's see. This is kind of cool looking. Maybe we could put a few of these out here. Something like that. Yeah, I think that'll light up the back pretty well. I do need to put the flooring out here. I forgot about that. I wanted to get some wood out here to make that more deck-like. But there you go. We have got the windows in, as I said I was going to get to, and we've got the lighting in good enough for now. Time to move on to getting some furniture in this place. Well, that's going to about wrap it up for the house here. You can see that, unfortunately, we have $70 left to our names. That's it. These three Sims would have to really bring in the money in order to make this work. I had to really pare down. You can see they have a table and they have just the bare essentials. Even one computer to share among them. I really had no idea I was going to blow through so much money. I had to really dial things back and get rid of things just to get enough money to squeak out even the final last touch, which was the one computer that they would all end up having to share. So, you know, when it comes to even the bedrooms, if I kind of flip the view here, you can see we literally just have a bed. That's it. And then we have a shower and a bathroom. I had to get rid of the other bathroom. Yeah, it was a mess. So that would be the story of these three these three completely different people having to all share one place because they simply can't afford it. So anyway, like I said, I am going to be considering running a series on this. You guys can definitely let me know in the comments. I've really enjoyed this so far, making the characters, all of their attributes, all the way up through the house, and kind of getting this thing all laid out. I'm still considering a number of things, not only your guys' feedback, but things like my schedule and some other games that I want to be getting to. I'm going to probably decide this within the next week or so, but yeah, I hope you guys let me know if you want to see more of this. It definitely helps me decide if it's something that I should be putting some time in as far as bringing it to the channel. I'm certainly going to be playing at home, but whether or not it comes to the channel largely depends on you guys and what you guys are telling me and what I'm seeing. You know, definitely leave a like. That's one good way of showing me. You can also leave a comment and just let me know, hey, this is what I would love to see. I want to see these three survive, maybe survive. So anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching this whole thing, and we'll catch you next time.